Here's a bench top. You want to mark it out. Apparently when I mark it, put tape, wide tape along there, both sides, put your mark on top of the tape, cut it along the tape, and that should give me what I need. Should stop it from splintering too much. I don't care if one side splinters, because that side will be the bottom, so that won't matter much. I'll have to make sure I cut it the same way then. Anyway, I'll get set up and I'll get back to you once I get the tape, find my masking tape and all that, and I'll get back to you when I find it. Alright. I just want to let you know, I'm going to do these video clips in parts. So it'll be part 1 and part 2 just for the self, because it's just taking so long. So I'll do part 1, part 2, possibly part 3, and then I'll put them up like that. And when they finish, and I'll just start the next one, to start it from the introduction, and that's it. Till I'm finished. Alright then. That's all I'll let you know I'm going to do. What I'll do first, measure down both sides, 2240. I double check the measurements. Double check the measurements 3 times now I have. Oh, straighten this up a bit quick. A bit better, ain't it? Oh, she's still cooking for my bum. Well, need to go that way. That's better. Yeah, so measure down 2240. Put a mark on the outside. Do the same with the side. Measure down 2240. Mark just there. Make sure 2240. Because you only get one chance of cutting it. If you bug it up, that's it. What I'll do, I'll put some masking tape across them. That line in the centre. Oops, shit. That line in the centre. See this line in the centre. Right. So I know where that. Now I measure it again. Down to my 2240. 2240. Go there. Go there. So it's right in the centre of that line. Grab my ruler. Heard something bang over there. Right. So what I'll do now, I'll turn it over the other side and do the same. So you're cutting down the tape, might stop it from fraying so much, but we'll see what happens, won't we? I just put a old sheet under there just to try to protect it a bit. Do the same, grab some tape, put over them. Do my measurements again. Go down to 2240. 2240. 2240. Ouch. The line's only there for a rough thing, but what I have to do to get a straight edge and clamp a straight edge on there, so when I get my circular saw I can do it better. So I'll probably cut it from the other side, I think. I'll say this end here, one's going to be the top, one's going to be the bottom. At the moment I don't know which one until I cut this and see which side don't fray so much. Then that's what I'll use it. Find a straight edge, cut it straight, I can run the saw along. What have I got in here? What have I got? What have I got? Not much. Long enough. Just use a bit of angle line. Yep, perfect. What I'm going to do is measure the distance between my blade and that edge. That's how I set my angle line up. Because that'll be running along. You might just see it. Hang on. That's better. Can you see that alright? Nah. That's better. That'll be running along that edge. Be running along there like that. First thing I have to do is unscrew this. So I can slide that. Oh no, that's the wrong one. What unscrew that one for? This back one here. Screw that so I can slide that up. Make sure it's so I can get right through. Like that. Make sure the blade goes right through. Like that. Tape measure. Measure my blade distance. Then you want to measure from there to there is 90 mil. So you want this here 90 mil from your line. So I'll hit my 2 clamps and I'll clamp that down from like this. One, there's one over there. There, I've got my clamps. Put it on there roughly. It gives me 90 mil there. Other end. It gives me 90 mil there. Double check everything now. Always double check everything. This camera's really doing my head in today. How come it's crooked? Every time I touch the camera, it seems to be crooked. Yeah, that's better. You always double check everything. Double check your measurements. 90. Double check all your measurements and cut once. If you cut it and it's too little, this end of it's gone. 2240. Check this side again. Now I'm going to go and measure the bench and the bus and double check it. Yeah, I double checked it, same 2240, so it should be right to go. Grab my cord. Plug this in, we'll see what happens, eh? Cut it and see how bad it splinters. Well, that's no good. Knew that. I have to put the clamp on that side. Alright, change it. I now have to measure the blade on this side, which is 40 mil. Change that on that side. The motor sticks out on this side. You go 40 mil. There. There. Always use the soft jaw ones on these stuff so you don't mark the top of them. Which if you mark it, oh well, you'll have marks on it. 40, 40. And once I sit it in there, I have to work out my sink. Once I cut it and get it sitting in there, before I actually screw this down anywhere. Now before I actually screw this down, put it in there, get it set up where I want it, then I have to mark where I'm going to put my sink out, and probably bring it back out here to cut the sink out, maybe, or I might leave it in there. If I can, if the freighted side's underneath the bottom, and the top's nice and clean, I can cut the sink in there, but it won't matter if it's at my bottom because you're not going to see it. 40 mil. 40 mil. So make sure it's square, it's 200. 200. So here we go. Now I put them around the right way, suit on me. Can't hit the motor now. It's off. Take these off and I'll see how this side split it. We'll take off. Top side, that's been a fair bit that done. I'll move these and I'll turn it over the other way and see what it's like on the other side. So that's the top. That's the top. Under there's the bottom. So this is going to be the top. But it didn't splinter along there at all. It all splintered on the top side. Other side. So what I'm going to do, turn this back over. So I know this side's going to be the bottom. Get my fucking pencil. Right bottom on it. So now I know that's the bottom. I'm going to cut out my side for the thing. So the cutout has to be on this side, because when I turn it back over, the cutout has to be on that side. Cardboard cutout. Go get it. So my cardboard cutout has to be on this side, because when I turn it over, should be like that. I might have to do this one with the jigsaw. But I'll do the same, put a line on there, but that's the bottom. Put some tape around it. Tape. I'll turn it over and do the same. And now I know that's going to be the top side. Put the cardboard cutout on there again so I can know where to put my tape. This time I just put a white line like that. So what I have to do when I do the sink, sit this in here, have it in there where it's going to go exactly. I have to get my sink and make a cardboard cutout for my sink yet. So I'll get it spot on. I've got a tap to go in the side of the sink, so I have to do it as well. So that's that. I'll turn it back over. And I'll grab the jigsaw. I hope the jigsaw doesn't splinter the other side. But if you cut from this side, hopefully it won't splinter it, but I'll find out in a minute. I'm not that worried about splinters. If they stay only like that big, like this one here, it doesn't really not worry me much. I just don't want real big splinters, because that's when you get problems. It's starting to rain again. So now just follow that line, what I marked in a minute ago. And that should give me the edge for the back of the bus when I turn it back that way. Double check. That goes in there, that edge will be over there, that'll be the bottom here. I still have to cut a strip out of hopefully I don't have to do that. Now what I might do next, I mightn't do that yet. I might measure it up, see how wide I need it. I'll have to cut that strip off this side. This side, yeah, I have to cut the strip of this side, but I have to fold it back over. So I might measure this, measure it, and cut this off, this whole length off first. And that way, it's starting to rain a bit. Get that out of the rain. This here will be in here further. Yeah, I'll do that first. I'm not going to do that yet. Never mind. I was going to do that and just push it back in there, but I won't. I'll cut this strip off it because it sticks out too far. The bench is back in here somewhere. I only want it out about an inch, so I'll go and measure, do a couple of measurements, then I'll get back to you. Alright? What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this corner out first. I won't run it, but I'm going to. I might have to do a couple of cuts, that's all. I'll cut this corner out. And then when I take it in, flip it over, I'll push it back where it's going to go. But I'll have to cut a bit off here. But at the moment I don't know how much I have to cut off there. Because I can't get it back into where it's going to go because of this corner. But I'll cut this corner out, push it back in, take my measurements on that side, and take my measurements, and then I can cut it out. Yep. Take my measurements, and then I can work out how much overhang I want, and then I can put a line right along there and cut it out. I want to do that first. I won't run it, but I am. Just a bit more cutting, but better being safe than sorry, because if you bugger it up and make it too short, these are not cheap. $100 for this, $109 for one of these. I had to buy two because one wasn't enough. So I've got a bit of tape on this side too. This is going to be the good side, so hopefully it won't spin it too much. So I've got a heap of tape there. Like that. I'll turn it back over. Grab the jigsaw. Cut it off. I don't know how the jigsaw is going to go, but I better put a line on there. Put a line along it. Actually, I'll put my cardboard back up there. I haven't got the best jigsaw either, so that makes it a bit hard. You can't take notice of the marks on the front of here. Got a mark there to say centre. You can't take notice of that. You actually have to look at the blade. But this jigsaw seems to go all sideways on you all the time. Alright, here we go. Give this a go. Pretty good, she'll do. I'll sand all that back before I mount it in there properly. I'll sand all the bits back on the end. That'll be all sanded back. So what I'll do, I'll take it in there and sit it in there. Oh, first thing I have to do, there's a screw poking up through the bench, so I have to go cut the screw off. So I'll go cut the screw off. Actually, I'll take this in there and then I'll put the bench on there and I'll show you what I'm doing. Oh, it's raining. There you go. You'll be able to see me now. Make sure that's working. Oh yeah, that's working. Yeah, there's a screw poking up through the back down here. A bit dark, but it's opening curtains up a bit. Just cut the screw off. Oh, the screw's poking up. Double check. Nothing there. Should be right. So I'll go get the bench and I'll bring it in. Top. Slide it into position. How much overhang I've got? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Let me bring it back that way a little bit. About there. Gonna go. Roughly. Bit of overhang. Go that way a bit. On the level with the back of that. Bit of overhang there. That's pretty much it. So you now have to work out how much you can need, because this bench is not straight, all weird angles. That's the main reason I bought it in here first, so I can measure from, put a mark on the bottom of here, because that's the bottom. Put a mark up there, mark it there, and then transfer the marks to that side on the bottom. Cut a strip off the back of there, push it back in, and then cut my angle down there again. Then I know it's going to fit. But that's pretty much where it's going to fit. Pretty much like that. I'm a bit worried about a couple of things, but I have to think about it. So if I cut a strip off this mark and cut a strip off that side, will it put it out of whack? But that's there nice and straight across there. I hope it don't. Check to see how much gap some of those there. It's got a bit of a gap. Not much, but at the back it's alright. At the front here, got a bit of a gap. Up there's alright, just here, right where my fingers are. Might have to put something under there to raise it up a bit. Main reason I'm thinking about this, because this here's here'll be about 100, but down there it'll be 150. So that bench at the line here's not straight. So I have to work out. And I know that's straight down there. So I have to work out how much to cut. They can go back a bit further. No, well, we can't because it's hitting there. So that's alright. I'll get my pencil. If I cut that on that side, that'll put it out. I'll show you what I mean. Once I get my pencil on my tape, I'll show you. What I mean by this side here is there's 100 mil from there to from here, from here to here is 100 mil. Down here it is 125. So if I move this out to say to 125, like that side is, it'd be like that. It'd be on an angle. Once I cut that strip off. Be poking out a bit. But what if I go, move it back to just 125. It's only 130. If I take this, that's how it'll go. A bit of a gap along that edge. I didn't want that. Come back to here, push it back. Now this here will be 115, and down here, you see what I'm doing it in there? Be 120. But that'll be right like that. That'll look alright. You cut a strip off the back of it. So make sure that's still right. Yeah, that's alright there too. That looks pretty good. Good enough overhang. I'll bring it back inside a bit more. Push that back in there. My overhang's still pretty good. Push that back in there. There's a thing going along here, about that high, right on the back of that. Stop shit from falling down there. There's 125, back to 125. They're back to 100. So you're gonna have to bring this out. Say 115. 125, and push that back in like that. It's 120, and that's 120. You don't have much no choice. That's where you're gonna have to go. So if I cut off that side, but this is the top, don't forget. If I cut, that's 120. So I cut it off 100. That'll give me 20 mil overlap. So I cut 100 off this side. Then when I push it back, I should have 20 mil over. Yeah, 20 mil overlap. And that'll be perfect. And that'll do. That'll do it. 20 mil overlap will be fine. Make sure I got it right. 120. 120. Yeah, that's fine there. Yeah, so we're cutting 100 off there, that side, straight up there. Then put my angle back in there again. I should be fine.